Longtime rivals Texas A&M made their way to UT this past weekend to face off against the Longhorns at the swimming pool. Our own Alanis King was on hand for the action. The Big 12 soccer tournament took place this past week, and Texas soccer played some really close matches. They opened against the Red Raiders of Texas Tech, and after being tied 1-1 at the end of regulation and the overtime periods, were forced into a penalty shootout. Texas ousted the Red Raiders in penalty kicks for a 6-5 win, advancing to the semifinals of the tournament against West Virginia. The game remained scoreless at the end of regulation in both overtimes, and in another penalty shootout, the Longhorns fell short 6-5. The Longhorns will move on to compete in the NCAA Championship Tournament, with their first game still to be determined. Our own Alex Wilkins was on the scene at Gregory Gym with the team. Let's see what Alex has to say. After a setback versus the Wildcats of Manhattan, the Horns had yet again a bit of bad news on the recruiting world as four-star athlete J.W. Ketchum out of Houston Lamar decided to commit to the Baylor Bears. The four-star athlete had Texas listed in his top 3 during the early summer months, but decided to go a different route due to his relationship with Baylor head coach Art Briles. It wasn't all bad for the Horns this weekend. 3-star linebacker Cameron Townsend out of Richpoint High, Missouri City, Texas, committed to the Longhorns. The 6'1", 206-pounder is the number 62 ranked prospect in the state of Texas, and he looks to add athleticism and speed to the Longhorn defense. After a victory against Texas Tech, the Longhorns kept up the winning streak against West Virginia. Let's check out the highlights from DKR. The Longhorns march out to Darrell K. Royal looking for a big home victory against number 23 West Virginia as 3-point underdogs. Big game for the Longhorns at home. Here early in the first quarter, Tyrone Swoops rolls out and hits Marcus Johnson for 7 yards. Tyrone Swoops making plays happen through the air early on in the game. Same drive, 3rd and goal, Tyrone Swoops hits tight end Jeff Swain for the 2-yard touchdown. Swoops making plays happen. 7-0 Texas, 6:35 to go in the first quarter. Here on a 4th and 9 for West Virginia, a 53-yard field goal attempt goes way left. That ball had 0 chance. Texas remains on top 7-3. In the second quarter, Texas driving, and Tyrone Swoops is going to hit MJ McFarland for 9 yards here, and whoop! Looks like he hits the juke stick on a video game or something. Great cane by the kid. Later on, Tyrone Swoops is going to hand it off to Jonathan Gray, and he is taking this to the house. The 30, the 20, the 10, Texas touchdown, 39 yards, Jonathan Gray, huge gain. And a West Virginia ball in the second quarter, and Trickett hits Wendell Swalwood, who gets lit up by Michael Thompson. That's an exciting play for the defense. Late in the second quarter, Jonathan Gray breaks through the hole against West Virginia for 40 yards to the 13-yard line. Jonathan Gray with a very big game this weekend. And later on in that drive, Jonathan Gray is going to burst through the hole for his second touchdown on the day, 21-3 Texas here. West Virginia ball, and Clint Trickett is picked off by who other? Quandre Diggs. And he leads that to a Texas field goal, 24-3 Texas. Halftime, the fans love Quandre. The fans are excited. Texas football, Texas fight. How about them Horns? And later on in the fourth quarter, Cedric Reed gets hit with a safety, 26-10 Texas, and Cedric Reed had a huge game with a sack here, forces a fumble, and just to put a little bit of icing on the cake, Jonathan Gray up the middle for his 3rd touchdown on the day. The boy rushed for 100 yards, 33-16 is the final for Texas. And the eyes of Texas were on West Virginia that evening. After the Longhorns took care of Texas Tech, the volleyball team hosted the Kansas State Wildcats this past Friday. Let's go out to Gregory Gymnasium for the action. The first set, Kansas State takes an early lead. Kat Bell gets a bump to Amy Neal with the kill, and Texas is still down 5-8. Later in the set, we see the Longhorns down 15-20, and Chloe Collins sets up for the kill by Molly McCage, but it's not enough. The Wildcats win the set 25-16. Here in the second set, a kill by Chiaka Obagu. The Horns up 4-0. Texas with a huge 20-12 lead, and Collins gets to Haley Eckerman for the spike. What a gorgeous spike. Texas up 21-12. Set point for Texas, and Obagu and Nicole Dalton on the double block. Horns win the second set 25-15. We take a break, and Hookham gets some push-ups in. Look at that one-handed push-up. What great form. Look at that guy. I don't think I can even do that. That's great. Anyways, onward. Third set, Kansas State scores first, but Dalton sets it up for the Neal with the kill. We're tied 1-1 early on. Later on, Neal with another gorgeous kill. She would go on to get a double-double with 14 kills and 12 digs. Set point for Texas. Here later on, Colin gets it to Eckerman for the spike, and the Horns win the third set 25-21. In the fourth set, Kansas State's up 1-0 early, and Eckerman comes in for another huge spike for the Longhorns, and she would end the night with 10 kills on the day. Texas up 8-5. Dalton with an assist to Kat Bell for another spike, and she'd get 9 kills and 4 blocks on the day. Match point for Texas. Collins, sorry, we got skipped ahead. Texas beats Kansas State 3-1.